Welcome back to the mix, you guys. Our guest today is a talented actress that you may have seen on the hit Tyler Perry series, Sistas. Everybody, please welcome the talented Mignon. What's up, girl?
Hey.
Hey.
Yes.
What to do, Sean?
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Look
you.
beautiful.
Yes,
I
thank
see
you for
you up
joining
there.
us.
Thank you.
Now, Mignon, you're on the Tyler Perry series Sistas on BET. How is it being a part of the Tyler Perry production family? Because, I did Medea Witness Protection with Tyler.
Right.
How is it for you?
It's fun. It's surreal. It's exciting. I don't know. There's so many words, but I would just say, it's a lot of fun. I'm happy to be there. I'm grateful. Acting's been my dream my whole life. And it's really cool that Tyler Perry was the one who, kind of gave me my shot. So.
Yeah, I have to ask you another question because working for me as an actor and doing so many projects with other directors and productions before, I want to know if it's the same for you working with Tyler, where you kind of have a sense of freedom to bring, this certain freedom to your character.
Yeah. Well, my character is very comedic, and TP is so funny, like in person and whatever characters he plays. So he tends to let his comedic characters run wild, especially when, Deval and I work together. He plays Zach on the show. And so we improv so much. We, respectfully, not like just running too wild, but he gives us a lot of room. He gives us a lot of lanyard. And it's a lot of freedom because you have to trust yourself too. So.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, congrats on getting the role. I actually, Tyler Perry actually flew me out to Atlanta and I tested for Sistas. And I remember seeing you in the room.
I was about to say, I was like, I know this face.
Yes.
I know this man.
For sure. I remember seeing you. And I think that I ended up working with you and a group of girls and reading one of your scenes and helping y'all. And I remember then I was like, she has this light about her. There's something really special about this girl, for sure. Why do you think it was that? Of course, absolutely. Why do you think it was that Tyler Perry picked you to portray this character? And what was that journey for you like?
I think, you know what? I really should have this conversation with him. I would love to know specifically. But, I didn't have an agent or a manager. And at that point, I had never had any representation. So wow. I was really grinding for myself. Yeah, I had to get really scrappy, At that time, my motto was fortune favors the bold. And so I think I just came in with the confidence. And I also knew the way Danni reads, you can get locked into a stereotype, right? Like the way she comes across. But I knew that stereotype wasn't my reality. And so I said, but the truth of being bold and outspoken and opinionated, that's my reality. And I was just going to play the truth of that and be authentic, but still just bring my own quirks to it and my own just realness and difference. And so I think that's kind of why, they went with me. I said, if they go with me, because the way Danni reads, she reads not exactly what my type is, but if they go with me, I know they want something different. I know that's what they're looking for. And so
that's manifestation right there.
Yeah.
Man. Real.
Listen, you got $12 in your bank account. That's all you got is manifestation.
And that's the beautiful story of an actor. Like you literally can be broke one day with no representation to on the #1 show in the country and have representation. Yeah, that's nothing but God in favor.
That's God too. I was about to say that's God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was literally going to ask you actually how, if you are like your character in real life, but hearing you talk about it, do you feel like your character brought parts out of you that you didn't even know were there before?
No. I think for me with Danni, I just wanted to give her as much of myself as possible. She does a lot of crazy stuff, especially season 1. So I have to ground it in truth. I was like, what do I do with some of these things she says? And so I just dug in my own history and found, relatable things and really, taking the advice of all the greats. You don't judge your character Meryl Streep says that you actually advocate for your character. And that's kind of just the approach that I took, is like kind of being her lawyer, but instead of representing her, I represent her as her. And so just digging in my own life and just finding empathy for her.
Yes. Cool. Come on.
Yeah, that is. So my question was, on the show, Daniela is in an interracial relationship. So what is your take on dating outside of your race?
Tricky. I've done it, and it was tricky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I just think do your research.
Yeah.
I think specifically for Black people, do your research on the person, and if you're trying to date a Black person, do your research on just the historical context of people of color, not only in this country, but the African diaspora, as much as you can. And don't expect every Black person to be a tour guide. Some Black people don't mind doing that. I don't want my relationship to be study hall. I want my relationship to be a place where I can be at home. And so if you want to be with me, you got to get with my culture. To quote Spice Girls, kind of.
I like that.
Yeah. No,
that's
real. That's real.
Yeah, Ton, I want to say I heard you commenting a little bit. What's your take?
No, absolutely. I think it's difficult. I'm talking to somebody right now, and they're white, and there definitely are a lot of challenges that we have because of things that they just don't know. You know what I mean? And I also think that you have to, like you said, you have to do research. You have to try to do a little history about my culture, figure things out about my culture, you know? And I think that's the really hardest part, is feeling like you're not respected, or your race, or your culture is not respected. And it may not be that they're disrespecting it, but they just don't have the knowledge to, to really come to it in a proper way. So I definitely say it can be.
Yeah, look, I've been all around the world, baby. I know a thing or two about this and that. But the thing that I realized is the biggest key is you have to know your truth. You have to know who you are. So when that person come into your life, they know what they're dealing with. And I think we always say we can't judge, we can't, love is blind. But the truth is, I'm a Black man,
Right.
So I can't go into anything with that mindset of being blind. I've been young and dumb before. So it's like, you just want to make sure your partner, you guys understand your truths. And like everybody says about respect, respecting each other at the same time.
Have you dated outside your race before, Romeo?
What you say?
Have you dated outside your race before?
Yeah, people for a long time thought that I only liked a certain type of woman, and the thing is, I never realized the pressure, not the pressure, but the weight that I hold for a successful Black man in this industry. And I love, deep down, I love Black women. I need a melanin woman. That's what I know that I love. But at the end of the day, the responsibility to show that we all need, respect. We all need love. And when you date outside your race, and people may think that you're just with this person because now you popping, like Kanye said, now that he leave you for a white girl and this, and I don't want the world to get it ever twisted. We got to stand up for our queens. And at the end of the day, I just feel I'm in a position to speak on that. But like I said, we can't go in there thinking love is blind, because we all are very different.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because I actually went on a date with a white guy not a couple years back, maybe like a year and a half ago. And BLM was very prevalent. And I was just looking at him and I'm like, I don't even know what to say to you, because it was like we were just on totally different worlds. Like the things that I was worried about and wanted to talk about, he couldn't relate to. He lived in Calabasas. For him, it was like, I don't know about no BLM, no protest. I don't care. And that was an issue for me as, a Black woman. And then, I look at my mom and she's married to Reggie and I just see Black love. So for me, I definitely want to stay in my.
I love the little hand motions out.
Or you gotta like make it
You
sound
should
really
try
good.
it. You should definitely try it.
Yeah, as long as you know your truths, that's the main thing.
Exactly.
Love who you want to love, but just know your truths. Stay true.
Love is love.
You know, it can be difficult, but I can also say it's also beautiful in many ways because it allows you to learn about different cultures and it allows you to see yourself outside of yourself and take yourself outside of your normalities. You know what I mean? Yep. You're able to find love from someone else that you necessarily might not have thought that you would have found love from. I mean, I'm having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? It's fun.
Well, look, I got to ask another question. You know, a lot of productions had to shut down due to the pandemic. Your show was actually the first production to go back into filming fully with COVID safety measures in place. But what was that experience like just shooting during a global shutdown? Because I still got 3 movies I can't even shoot right now. Wow. I'm looking through you.
Man, it was hard. Yeah. It was hard. It was a lot of fun though. But what was hard was, you know, our cast, we know we have something special. We know that it's very rare for us to really mess with each other like that. And so it was just difficult because, sorry, my dog is shaking. It was just difficult because you love each other so much. You've been away from each other for months. You're excited to see one another. We were supposed to film in March. Now it's July and someone's 300 feet away and you can't hug them until, you know, because the results were supposed to come back in 24 hours, but Georgia was surging at that time. And so the lab was inundated and it ended up taking 4 days. And, you know, the studio used to be a Confederate Army base. So the houses we're staying in were like the general's quarters. So they're old, but refurbished, like they're gorgeous, but like they're big and you're in there by yourself and you're black and it's an army base. And you're like, Lord, now I hope you're here, Lord. Like, but it was a lot of fun. We did it in lightning speed. It was a blessing. I mean, you know, to be working in a pandemic when a lot of people really, really, really are struggling. They're laying loved ones to rest. And, you know, I'm able to go and do what I love, even in the midst of all this. So humbling.
Very
amazing.
Well, you also spent some time behind the camera as a writer and director of a short film. So which do you prefer? And tell us about your film also.
Okay. So my film is it's a short film. It's called 42 Seconds. It's very dramatic. It's not like the character I play on Sistas. And it was just it's just a heightened experience that I had, emotional experience that I had. And it won, you know, Best Director at Women in Film in Television of Atlanta. And honestly, I went to film school and my first love was acting, but I want to do all of it. I really don't know if I have a preference. I will say this, writing is the hardest because even though story comes naturally to humans, story structure and crafting a story is an art and it's a craft, the same way acting is a craft and directing is. But I love them all, honestly.
Man, I did not know you directed too. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, that is.
Directing is the easiest. Out of the
congratulations.
Heard that, Spike Lee? No, I'm playing.
Wait, you guys, you just said you got an award for Best Director. We didn't even say congratulations. So congratulations.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Black female director. Love it.
Well, on that note, you guys, we do have to take a quick break, but Mignon is going to come and stay with us and get into some topics when we come back. Keep it locked right here on Fox Soul, you guys.